This is a really nice bait, or at least I think it is. Dear women, wow, an open letter. We don't want you with muscles. We want you slim, delicate, and cute. Take notes. I love how you implied that muscular women can't be delicate and cute. Obviously, they're not slim, but they can be delicate and cute. I guess you just don't know a bunch of them. If a man likes women with muscles, he is gay. Community knows how to correct this stupid take. No, you're not gay for liking women. It doesn't matter if they are muscular. They're still women. What I find interesting about this tweet is that, like I said in the beginning, I don't know whether this is a sincere tweet or an actual bait to trigger women to posting their muscular selves. And for those of you who are more into fictional women, there are also some muscular anime girls there too. What I'm saying is, this person might actually get off to women with abs. He's just baiting people to make posts about them. It's totally possible, which means that by this person's logic, he's the gayest out of all of them. Attractive women aren't muscular. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, bro. Don't judge. There are many things about fiction that are beautiful, but the next hoopla is not that beautiful at all, or at least to most people. In fact, it's pretty icky. This video goes around and people were outraged by it because it's the state of romance novels today. I personally find it hilarious because it shows that women can be really horny too. It's just that they are horny in a different way for different things, or probably the same things depending on your own personal fetish. This book apparently has a woman screwing a priest in the altar. Really? That's it? It's pretty vanilla. I've seen doujins that are like that. This book has a woman screwing her uncle and both of his kids, aka her cousins. Incest is nothing new in fiction. It's disgusting in real life, but it's totally normal in fiction.
Didn't you read that on Kindle Unlimited already? Yeah, but you need a physical copy.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty base. Carry on. This book apparently has nothing like how dogs do it when they're mating. Ah, bestiality. Sick, but nothing new in fiction. This one has someone getting back shots while drowning in shark-infested water. Weird and a bit specific, but again, nothing particularly wrong with it.
This author started out writing Kylo Ren fanfic.
Well, you've got to start somewhere. The 50 Shades of Grey creator was a Twilight fanfiction writer, writing the whole thing on a BlackBerry. In fact, 50 Shades of Grey itself is a Twilight fanfiction.
Isn't that like 21 books of alien smut? Yeah, so?
Good answer. You don't need to justify your kink. And then the ladies try to pick a manga and it's Dick Fight Island. Yowie, am I right? This person is like, women's fantasy is super wholesome, men's fantasy is rape. Well, we just saw the video earlier of what women's fantasies are, but even then, it shouldn't be a problem for both of you. As long as they're fictional, then there's nothing wrong with it. Also, Rito of Healer has lots of female viewers, and I'm in love with the villainess portrayed incest to be on the same level as homosexuality, so you don't have the moral high ground. There are plenty of adult fiction out there, or fiction with adult content, and there's nothing wrong with them, but not according to the Puritans. Puritans are everywhere, aren't they? Zachary Levi said that swearing and nudity are necessary depending on the context of the media and the project. Most people know him as the guy that played Shazam, and Shazam was great, the first one at least. I know him as the guy who played Chuck. Chuck was amazing, one of my favorite TV shows with a kick-ass opening. They are never necessary. Oh, come on. You cannot take an argument of, it depends, and immediately go, they're not necessary. Plenty of films and shows have nudity. The Wolf of Wall Street has Margot Robbie from top to bottom. And as for male nudity, the most notable one that I have seen was from the movie Shame with Michael Fassbender. You get to see his pee-pee. There's no benefit to them unless the benefit you see is people having an addiction to pornographic imagery. Not everything will lead to porn addiction. Most of the nudity scenes are very brief. How topical I reference Shame because that's a topic that the movie tackled. Also, there's that movie Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt where he actually prefers single player to multiplayer, despite having tried both of them. I've tried both and I can tell you this, single player gives you a lot more control over what you want to do, whereas multiplayer must be something that both of you find comfortable. I don't think even a doused sense of nudity is required. That's your subjective opinion, bro. Even if people are not addicted through the means of pornography, that our world, more so in our Western culture, is heavily saturated with sex and sexual innuendos. What? I mean, complaining about the heavily saturated sex is one thing, but what's wrong with innuendos? Also, it's not as heavily saturated as you think it is. Yes, we're living in a more progressive society, but it's not progressing in a direction that I like, because even progressives are their own Puritans. Even in children's media now and growing up, innuendos were there. Why do you have a problem with innuendos? They're not the full sex scene, they're just references. They're just jokes that refer to dirty things. You absolutely are a Puritan. Your criticisms are nothing but, ew, sex is gross, then leave and never come back. Speaking of adult content, what happens if you want to buy some adult manga in Japan? Or at least a manga with some adult content in Japan? I talked about how I went to Japan 5 years ago. Man, that was a long time. And it was a great time, even if it was a bit rainy at the time. I didn't get to buy manga, but this person did. This guy was on a trip to Japan and he's asking the nearby manga employee, "Can you help me find this?" This being a manga called Embarrassing Horny Ass Manga I've Obsessed for the last 5 years. Wow, sounds like the manga is a long runner. The employee is looking at the guy with utter disgust. Just like the girls from that anime where they look at you with utter disgust for looking at their panties. That's the one, same energy. So why am I talking about this? You sexualize a real-life staff employee? No, I don't think this lady is based on a real person. Yes, the situation was real, the artist who looked for the book is real, the staff that they were asking is real, but I doubt that the staff looked like her. Also, sexualized? She wears full clothing and her ass is a bit tight. Nothing about her is sexualized. And the guy wasn't asking a sexual question, he was just asking where the manga was. The manga was sexual, but the comment wasn't aimed at her. It's a genuine question to ask a manga shop staff if a particular manga is available. Just saying. Moving on from horny media, we have some hooplas about streamers. I don't usually order food to be delivered to my home. If I want to grab some food, I go out and grab it myself before going back home. It's way cheaper compared to hiring drivers to do it. No disrespect to the delivery drivers, that's just how I roll. If you order takeouts and have them delivered on your doorstep, that's fine. But if you do them almost every day, you must have a lot of money to waste. So I wouldn't be surprised if streamers like Destiny order takeouts all the time. But people also find it funny that he did it for the most basic foods and drinks that even an 8-year-old can make on their own. My Uber driver brought me my hot chocolate today on bike. It took 45 minutes to get here. And this is what happens as soon as I pick up the bag to bring it inside. This is Trump's America. Okay, he's joking about the Trump's America part, but he made an Uber delivery of a Starbucks hot chocolate. Not only that he ordered Starbucks, which is already overpriced, but he also ordered the simplest drink to make. I can make that. Heck, I make that almost every day. Seriously, Uber a hot chocolate from Starbucks? Whatever, it's their money, streamers can do whatever they like with it, but considering that part of, if not most of their money is from the viewers that donate to them, you've got to ask yourselves if it's really worth it donating to these guys. Another day, another installment of streamers and content creators being absolutely entitled. A viewer donated their last $5 to show some gratitude, and this is how this guy reacted.
I know 5 isn't a lot, but this is all we have. I don't give a fuck.
Damn, this guy is really entitled, is he? $1 is a lot for a viewer to give you, let alone 5. Heck, their undivided attention to your ass is a lot to give. There are millions of content creators online, but they chose to watch you. Not only did they chose to watch you, but they also chose to donate to you. That's the kind of privilege 99% of people on the internet do not have. And the fact that you're not appreciating it shows how you are not worthy of $1, let alone 5.
$5. Do you think I care?
You clearly do. You're making a lot of comments here.
My gas today was $90.
Gas prices are expensive. Boo-hoo. You think your average viewers don't know about that? You think you're the only person in the room who has to pay for gas? Keep in mind that your viewers pay for their own bills too, and yet they chose to give some of their money to you. If you cannot see how worthy you are to their eyes, you are an idiot.
My Starbucks today was like $17. I got a drink.
And that's where your money goes, viewers. Overpriced coffee. Do you really think this guy is worth it?
Do you understand what $5 is going to do for me?
Do you understand what that $5 is going to do to that one viewer? They donated $5 to you. Other viewers donated another $5. Heck, if your viewers are from third world countries like me, $5 will feed them for a week. Don't mock the contribution of one viewer, or you will lose the rest of them.
I'm just being real.
You're not being real, you're being an entitled asshole to the people that feed you. Moving on from rich and entitled streamers, let's talk about the things that these streamers use to get famous. I wouldn't have expected someone to make this ridiculous claim. I can't believe how no one's using these apps anymore. What the hell happened to them? Jeez, TikTok brain rot is real. I get that Zoomers are more into that TikTok lifestyle and social media, but to claim that no one is using YouTube and Instagram anymore, two of the most popular social media websites in the whole world, is absolutely ludicrous. I don't know what made you believe that no one is using YouTube or Instagram anymore, but I think you need to widen your circle of friends if you think that that's the conclusion that you make, especially when there are plenty of people that make money using these two social media. I can, however, tell you that plenty of people chose to migrate from Twitter X to What's the latest alternative again? Blue Sky? I think that's what it's called. I guess because Twitter X is slowly turning into a right-wing haven like Gab, but the only thing I'm reminded of when hearing Blue Sky is either the studio Blue Sky that made the Ice Age films that got closed in 2021 due to COVID, or the film Her Blue Sky. It's a genuinely surreal experience because even to this day, I still cannot make out what that film's supposed to be about. And finally, here's a really funny Persona hoopla. This was an odd hoopla. It involves this scene from a social link from Persona 3 Reload where Michael was talking to the protagonist about her marrying him. The protagonist can either say sure or I'll think about it to make the kid feel good, but this person was a bit disappointed that he couldn't say no. Yeah, that's not being considerate to the kid. This may have been an impulse tweet. Yeah, no kidding. I get why you can't, but it's not just how I'd handle it. Yeah, just blatantly say no to a kid. That'll make them feel better. Not insulting OP, but some people in the Persona fandom really need to interact with real kids. Absolutely not. Forget Persona fans, real kids should not interact with strangers, and strangers should not interact with kids. The only people who should interact with real kids are those that are responsible for their well-being, like their parents, relatives, caretakers, babysitters, or the authorities. Kids, don't talk to strangers, and especially don't talk to Persona fans. Apparently, they tend to be unemployed. And that's all for our video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. And also huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show stream channel. Link below, go subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.